Welcome to Dateline Abuja. I'm Ibrahim Adra. Now, we'll be concluding our conversation with engineer Rafindadi in the interview segment. The Federal Capital Territory Administration is developing her industrial hub as the Central Bank of Nigeria wants the administration to allocate land for the establishment of dairy firms in the nation's capital. Find out the details in the FCT in Focus segment. The Federal Capital Territory has 4 grazing reserves stretching across Buhari, Karishi, Gwagwalada and Rubochi communities, and that accounts for 33,000 hectares of land in the FCT. The territory provides for the north-south route for cattle, and this makes Abuja a good place to locate dairy firms. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria is leading major dairy producers to a meeting with Minister of the Federal Capital Territory to conclude arrangements on how they can acquire land to set up their factories.
These are just the first set. So we will request that you please create a big area, industrial area. These are just the first set that we are, and I can tell you a lot of people have been making inquiries, and they will really love to set up their factories and processing facilities in FCT because of its nearness to their source of raw materials. The various collaborative efforts by the CBN and the private sector has started yielding significant results, with resultant deliberate measures by the private firms to embrace the backward integration measures and boost job creation and industrialization locally. One of these measures is a partnership with milk importing companies to develop the local dairy sector and harness its potential in the interest of the nation.
I assure you we will provide you the needed support. I personally would like to apologize to the 3 companies for maybe this matter with respect to your desire to invest in the FCT shouldn't have taken this long. But as you know, when we came in as an administration, we had to just choose our battles. During my first tenure, we concentrated on improving on infrastructure within the city itself. Of course, also trying to improve on the institutional capacity of the various departments of the FCT. And I'm very pleased to say that we have reached some reasonable milestone where now we are happy with the system we have, and then now we will now extend to other activities. And for us, agri development and also encouragement of investors into the FCT, particularly to provide processing facilities, is the next step we are going into, and you are coming at the right time. FCT is well endowed with good foliage and vegetation, a nice weather, Guinea savanna, and also a lot of water bodies, and that's why it's a natural place to be. And that's why the master plan has 4 grazing reserves, one in Buhari, which is about 9,000 hectares, another one in Karshi, which is 6,000 hectares. The third one is in Gwagwalada, about 9,500 hectares, while the 4th one is in an area called Rubochi, 8,985 hectares.
Beyond the provision of land, the FCT administration is hoping to raise funds to improve access to the land.
Obviously, most of these locations now are not accessible. Maybe a plant on the major expressway is possible, but when you talk of the grazing facilities and other complementary services, they will probably be off the road. So that's where we will want the CBN also to come in, so that you can also work with us to see how you can give supportive funding for basic infrastructure. We have the expertise in terms of the engineers, the designers, the architects who will be able to work out, and even those who will design the road or the facilities are there. So this wouldn't cost you anything because we already have in-house resources that can do that. But when it comes to the actual funding of opening up a road, which might probably be 2 or 3 kilometers off the main highway into a place where they need to operate, I think will require your support. But I'm sure if we work together along these lines, we should be able to achieve a lot, which will be in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's vision for this country.
A committee led by the Minister of State for the FCT is expected to identify locations that fall within the Abuja Master Plan and design a business strategy that is mutually beneficial to the investors and the FCT administration. The committee is expected to report back in 3 weeks.